Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Insight on Business, the News Hour. My name is Michael Libby, and we're powered by our advertising agency. That's Insight Advertising, Marketing, and Communications. We do all kinds of things for our clients, from signage, like we're talking with Dan, trade shows, a host of things, print, video, social. And social media, yes, we are social media wizards with a real social media component. Beware. I'm just telling you, beware. Dan Halstead is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about his company, Evolving Edge Graphics. And boom. It's a business that Dan started just 3, maybe 4 months ago. So what's new in your industry, Dan? What are some of the hot things that are out there?
The trade show displays and trade show graphics are changing in the last couple of years. People are getting tired of the traditional displays and just the normal pop-up banners and things. And so you're seeing a lot more three-dimensional displays that are printed on fabrics that are stretched and given it a lot more depth to somebody that's walking through a trade show and taking a look at it. Yeah,
one of those trade shows, we did one not very long ago for a client in Texas, and it's a three-dimensional, if you will, pop-up that assembles in seconds, really.
Absolutely.
And it's got this vivid images, but they're positioned at different levels, I mean, different depths.
Right.
And it does offer, you know, that eye-popping, whoa, what is this? And especially if you use light. So yeah, I want to talk about also trade shows. So I'm glad you brought that up. We think that there's two things any business, if they're doing a trade show, need to keep in focus. One is that you got to have additional light. You know, if you use the ambient light that's in an existing hall or rental facility or whatever it happens to be, those colors on your trade show display are not going to pop.
You're not taking advantage of the high definition,
right,
that high quality printing that you're paying for. I mean, if you do put together a nice quality display that you're going to have for months,
yeah,
absolutely. So a lot of the displays that I sell or can order in or can offer to somebody, they're going to have some additional lighting options that clamp onto the display,
sure,
and offer that. And we can take that into consideration when we're making the design, where that light is going to kind of spotlight and how their message is going to come across.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the other thing that we tell our clients, not only to use light, but also can the clutter. We have all gone to, ladies and gentlemen, we've all gone to these trade shows where you see these absolutely horrendous booths. You've only got seconds to capture somebody's attention.
Busy.
Yeah, it's way too busy. So what do you tell your people?
Simplify it.
Yeah.
Find out what you're trying to communicate right now as far as your branding. So, you know, the branding's a big deal. I think everybody's figured that out.
Sure.
And then your message and what's drawing them over to the booth. I mean, essentially you want them to come into that area so you can visit with them. And so that's kind of the main thing is to draw them in there.
Yeah, we've always, we adhere to the idea that your logo really is kind of secondary at a trade show. I mean, obviously what you're trying to do is incorporate what it is that you're trying to sell and engage that person to come into
right,
the trade show booth. I've never seen a trade show booth that has sold anything. and just like advertising, you know, I've never seen advertising. I've never seen a magazine ad or...
A trade show is like a first date, I think.
It is. It really is.
Getting to know each other and deciding when you walk away from there is really, you know, how honest you are to yourself as far as what you learned and if you're going to go back.
Absolutely. There's something else that's kind of hot out there, and we were just talking about it, floor graphics.
Oh, certainly.
You know, we spend our time, Dan, like this. You know, go anywhere, and people are walking around, and they've got this. They've got their smartphone going, and they're texting, or they're sharing information, or they're on Facebook, like a social media wizard should be. And I'm sorry, I just can't let that go. And so they're looking down. So why not put the graphics on the ground?
Oh, certainly. And that's you know, when I talk about thousands of applications of media that's changing all the time in the industry, floor graphics are the up and coming, and they started with trade shows.
Yeah.
Really, you know, you want that booth to spill out into the aisle and kind of catch people's eye. We're all on our smartphone. We're Facebooking. We're texting, and So where the traditional Best Buys and things were opening up the store so that when you walked in and you looked straight to the back wall, now everybody's kind of changed their approach. And what we're seeing in the medias is that they are certified anti-slip medias. So you put them down, you don't have to worry about being sued or not adhering to certain guidelines and things as well.
How do they last, though? I mean, if you're doing a 3-day trade show,
it depends.
Is that right?
Yeah, when you talk about unlimited capabilities, I have medias that are set up for 3 days, and then I have some that are set up for years, and that value is going to be reflected in the cost. It just depends on how long it's supposed to stand up. Even when you get out into some of the marathons and some of the other street events, boy, there's some great graphics for asphalt and concrete as well that are excellent. And as far as adhering to cracks and kind of cracking apart, looking like a painted surface on the concrete, the other graphics that adhere to carpet and tile and things, I mean, it's really is. The technology has come so far. Yeah.
And our guest, ladies and gentlemen, is Dan Halstead. We're talking about graphics and his company, his brand new company. When we come back, we're going to visit about one more thing. Dan told me in a telephone interview just last week that he had decided not to go out and raise a lot of capital for this. He was going to try to self-fund himself. We'll talk about business startups and why that's so important for you to get traction. This is Inside on Business, the News Hour. Oh, and when we come back, we'll also have the best campaign of the week. 2 things. That's all when we come back. This is Inside on Business, the News Hour, powered by our advertising agency, Inside Advertising, Marketing, and Communications. And you can see us live, 8:45 each and every Monday here at Webcast One Live or on your own time back on our blog. We'll be back with more right after this.